From immigrant to empire, how Anil Shani built 5 businesses in the UK without millionaire backing. Today's Studio Hub Podcast, a place where real people share real system for building wealth, purpose, and freedom in today's economy. Today's episode is not about motivation, it's a blueprint. Of course, you're going to be hearing from across the UK, millions of immigrants wake up every day. They work from 10 to 12 hours, yet remain stuck financially. But my guest today cracked a different code. He arrived in the UK with a billionaire's uncle, without political connections, yet today he runs 5 profitable businesses. Mailbox, Rafiki Vending, Rafiki Dry Cleaning, Rafiki Homes, and Rafiki Printing. His name is Anil Shani, BSc in Logistics Management, MCIPS, a UK entrepreneur, author of the upcoming book, Business in a Box. In this episode, you will discover how to escape the slavery trap, how systems make money even when you sleep, and which business models actually work for immigrants right now. If you want financial growth, business clarity, a roadmap you can actually use. Stay with us. This episode might change how you see money forever. So today, Mr. Anil Shani, may you introduce yourself to our watchers, the audience around the globe. Thank you very much.
Oh, hi. Thank you for the great introduction. My name is Anil. I'm based in the UK. I speak 5 languages. I speak French, English, Swahili, and a bit of Arabic, a bit of Italian. So, yeah, my journey has not been straightforward. I started from small things, and everything I do, I give you all 100%. And whenever I start something, I'm always looking for ways to scale. So one of my early entrepreneurship venture was a taxi business in Yorkshire in Hull. So I started out because we couldn't get cabs or students. So I'm always looking for solutions to a problem. So the 3 things I normally look for in a business is can I solve a problem? Can I add value? And can I make a difference? There's the 3 things I look for before I start on any venture, rather than just for the money. And the problem I was solving, we couldn't get cabs quick enough for students. So I thought I'd do something about it myself, because demand was greater than supply. This was before Uber. Uber hadn't launched in Hull. This was before they revolutionized this business. It opened our eyes to a lot of foreign immigrants, how much money in this transport business. And I was doing that before Uber. And I did really well at it because we couldn't get none. And then from there, I started realizing I'd take on other drivers. Then I'll pay them a commission like a Uber style. That's where the brokerage business started. And I did well. And then I realized I have more appetite. I'm not satisfied by making £1,000 a week. And then I want to do the minibuses. And then I start looking at 16-seater coaches and the 32-seater, to bigger. It's about scale, So now I'm not moving 4 passengers. I want to move people in groups going to sport clubs. And I found that business very lucrative and very, very less time consuming, and just managing resources. And I did that for quite a while. And then while I was studying for my MCIPS for Chartered Institute Procurement Supply Chain, I was looking to be a buyer procurement. So I'm just sticking into my lane, which is travel, trade, transportation. I tend to stick to things I know that I'm familiar with. Trying to focus. And I don't do 5 things at once. People might think I try and do one thing first well. When I do well, then I can move on to the next. And that's a big mistake a lot of entrepreneurs make nowadays. They say, where's the money? Where's the big money? Is it crypto? Is it service accommodation? Is it Uber? Is it Forex exchange? And that type of can kind of corrupt your mind, you know. You're not focusing on one thing. I always advise people, pick something you're passionate about, you could see yourself doing, that you love, and you can have and do it well. And the money will follow. So while I was
Absolutely.
starting from hmm?
I say that's very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then what's the turning point? What's the turning point among those five businesses you have?
Yeah, so while I was working as a buyer, which will go on to my second venture that I went on to, I was working in procurement again for a company facility management. So I was buying laundry equipment, cleaning material, consumables, chocolate, coffee, tea. I was like, boy, these are small stuff, but they're so big in big corporation. So I got to understand that game. I've been a buyer, which I'm very good at. And I'd qualified. I was working with buyers in construction, facility management. So we're just buying procurement, working with project managers, facility managers. I was like, oh, this is very interesting business. So I started looking into the vending business. One thing I liked about the vending business in the UK, again, this was before people were making videos on YouTube. You can make X amount. A lot of people, be careful who you listen to and the money and the challenges that people say. Just it's very easy to make content. I'm not big on social media to deliver content just for the sake of it, just to get hype. You know, I try and add value where I can. That's why I met this man in London. I said, yeah, I'll do this, but this is not something I do. I don't really like to do public speaking to expose myself. It's just never been me. I just do my work. I let the work do the talking for me, and people who know me, they know what I'm about. So vending, one of the reason again was back to my principles. Does it add value? Does it make a difference? Does it solve problem? Because I'm a logistician, I know the motorways and the locations. So I start targeting industrial park, factories, warehouses where they had no facilities for eating. They want the Coke, they want the Red Bull. So I start buying machines because I'm from a supply chain management. So I understand from sourcing, production, making, and delivering. If you haven't got the components of supply chain altogether, you're going to fail. You're going to get inventory issues. Your machine are always empty. So data is very critical in this game, you know? Land
Mhm.
location, and data. So they're the key things I look for in a business. So I had data on the card machines, how much is spending, and the locations. If the locations are not right, I don't bother. And the location were good because Amazon is big now in the UK. People working 24-hour shift, and these guys they got nowhere to go. The guys were closed. And I did well with that business. I built around over 100 machines. Again, be careful when you scale. So the scale got too much for me. I couldn't handle. So I started to think, okay, I cannot service my customers well as I could because the demand is too much and I can't keep up. Obviously, it was more profitable. I didn't need many staff. It was just me and then someone else subcontracting, which goes on to say another big part. This was before I start taking on employees. Before you take on staff, make sure the numbers add up. Are they going to do as
Right,
well? Are they going to be reliable? And staff are expensive in the UK.
right,
Then COVID came. I realized I can't carry on focusing on the leisure hospitality. I was big in the leisure hospitality, caravan park, hotel. COVID killed us. My business went downhill. I was like, that's the biggest challenge. What do I do? Then I realized I need to do the same thing again. Now I'm going to get into the laundry business and dry cleaning. Again, I'm sticking to what I know, supply chain and leverage and scaling. But this business required more of me, you know, to be more of a man. Grow up is more capital intensive,
right.
location, DCs, equipment, and staffing. I was like, I had to learn a lot about people. Again, I realized this retail game is hard, you know, to pay the bills was tough. The payroll, hey, different dynamics. This is different payroll, the rent, the gas. So it was a headache business. You know, it was again, it's and if you love something and you're really passionate about it, again, I'm looking for solution process. I'll start targeting B2B. So I start
Right.
talking to hotels, insurance companies, office workers, sending emails. I'm building that relationship. I start to pick up a lot of B2B contract, and then I realize actually B2B is where my strength is. So all I do now, I focus more B2B, and the retail's operations are there. So that's how I start our business, and then I start selling off some of my machine. And then I invested in the mailbox again. I was sticking to what I know, so I go back into the logistic trade again. But this time now, I'm not moving passengers. I'm moving physical goods. I like things I don't talk. You know, the retail game, passengers. I'm drunk, customer service. It was headache. So now I only deal when I deal with luggages. They don't talk. You know, we scan the pallets, your goods from point A to B, and we use carriers DHL, FedEx, UPS. Again, that's brokerage business. And I did well at that business, which I turned into a business center. We rent our mailboxes to people in the UK and virtual addresses and printing. And then I realized, ooh, I like the printing business quite a lot. One of the reasons I got attracted to printing was uh, I'm like a business doctor. You know, I'm what I call a business
Yeah.
doctor, business architect. I always have dreams and vision, and printing really made people's dream become a reality. And I was amazed by how
Yes.
many
And
beautiful ideas that everything before is
I want
executed. Hmm?
I wanted to say something
Yeah.
regarding those businesses. How many locations do you have in your vending machine pre COVID? How many locations?
I had 100 location. So it was a
100
big scale up.
locations.
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Yeah,
And
but the thing,
among the, how do you juggle them? How do you juggle those locations?
because
Because
I'm
we
from.
want to understand system that you applied that some of our watchers or those who are listening to us now who are still not understand how you're able to juggle those 100 locations as a young man. Uh,
Yeah.
of
The reason why I manage, because I'm from a supply chain background, logistics again. I'm sticking to what I was born to do, remember? So I know supply chain well. It's all about data, it's all about EPOS, it's all about what I'm buying from the wholesalers, what's moving fast. So I always keep data into the mind, you know, what do the customers want? And that
yeah,
allowed me easily to scale. And every location is different, believe it or not. You know, what works in one area doesn't work in another area because people have different tastes and different dynamics. So inventory control, operational management, and system, they're very key once you want to get involved in inventory led business. And if you don't
right.
understand that, maybe you should take some courses or maybe join retailers. Because I worked for some of the most successful discount store when I was a kid, the likes of Home Bargains, they're like the Poundland. So I really learned a lot how you make margins. You know, how do you make money from a pound
Yes,
product? You're
yeah,
making 20p to 30p, but it's a volume game. And the organization and efficiency, for me, it wasn't the jobs were glamorous. It was about learning, you know. So for me, it's
right,
about learning and how do you become excellent for
correct.
fast moving consumable goods that are volume
Okay,
led. And I realized
right.
the tills were busy, man. The tills were always spinning
Hmm.
because everybody wants a bargain. So I took the learnings, what made it great. And again, because I'm logistics, I've always been interested having the right goods in the right place at the right time, the right quality. And
Yes,
that really is what really makes you successful. And that's why the likes of Ubers and the booking.com, they've took you on another
hmm,
level, the Amazon, they understand logistics. It's all them components are
right,
working well. You know, people will live in
right.
the Amazon Prime era, Uber, you know, because they understand system. And once you do that, the sky is the limit now. We want to go global. So I want to take my learnings to what I've learned in the UK now. I know I can apply it to other countries and other nations. So that's the
Hmm.
type of work I'm involved in and doing, just doing project at scale. What works here, it can work in anywhere, continental Europe, US, and Africa. So
Right.
yeah, because now I think if when my book is released, I think I can go global now because
Yeah,
logistics allows me to go global.
we can't wait for that. But before then, many Africans in the UK are busy working. but still broke. What are they doing wrong that you did differently that made you uniquely different? Because I remember when I met you at Dell Center in London, central London, on a franchise conference, if I remember, small business and you know, you know, business owners and all of that. And then you took interest. We had chats, and he took me to your Birmingham, where you live. And then I slept over in your house when we looked for accommodation. I still remember how good you are. So took me to Virgin. What's the name of that center? Virgin what? Near your
Ver
house.
Yeah, Virgin swimming pool and the spa and the sauna. Yeah, in the
Correct.
business. Yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, you were a very wonderful and a very entrepreneur that has passion too. So what among all those five businesses that you set up, which one do you make money most, or which one do you think you can
Well,
replicate the same thing over and over?
I think, as I've said again, going back to my topic, you can make money with anything. They're all successful
Right.
business, and they all make money.
Right.
And this is where
Right.
a lot of people go wrong. Don't chase the money. The money will follow you once you do great work. Because at first I serve people. All these businesses
Mhm.
about serving people. Which if
Mhm.
you're Muslim or you're Christian, biblical, first you must learn how to serve people, and then the money will follow. But people get it the other way around. You say, oh, which one makes the most money? They all have seasons, and they all do well. Each one of them has got potential to make you a billionaire if you want to do it properly. Just focus on
Mhm.
one. And that's the
Mhm.
lesson I've learned. I'm only a one person and I can't do everything. So I need a team. I have teams. And just sticking to my strengths. I'm not gonna
Right.
start doing digital
Yeah.
currency because that's not my game. I have no experience in it, so I don't know it. So I tend to stick to
Yeah.
things I know that works and
Right.
deliver results. And that's what I advise young people. Just go where your
Right.
strength is and what you're passionate about. And the money will come,
Mhm.
trust me, if you do well. There's plenty
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah, but I'm looking at many Africans, of course. We discussed when you share some of your former colleagues or former schoolmates or classmates that in the university days when you were doing your BSc. So you told me how some of your African brothers or sisters, you came up with them on different business niches and all of that. So people that are watching us, some of them are working multiple jobs. They are trapped right now in the UK or probably other parts of the world. So, what do you think they have to do different in order to get to where you are right now?
The first thing is investing in yourself, personal development.
Right.
I did a lot of personal development. First, invest in your mind and build your confidence and
Mhm.
learn from other successful people. And in the UK is one of the best country actually to make money nowadays because we've got so many systems are open to us. We can trade on eBay. You can start sourcing goods from anywhere around the world. In the UK, you can doesn't cost much. You can get started on Amazon, start selling online,
Mhm.
doesn't cost much. Shopify doesn't cost much. Etsy doesn't cost much. Vinted for secondhand clothes doesn't cost much. There's so many digital venture. Again, my logistics helps me to understand so many platforms, the
Mhm.
booking.coms, the Airbnb, the property. There's so many platforms out there that allow you to get started, you know,
Right.
and start trading. So yeah, and the side hustles are growing. There's the Uber, if you say, I fancy driving, and the leisure and entertainment, that type of
Mhm.
hospitality. You meet people going out, and also you learn the street what other people are doing. So yeah, I
Right.
think people being trapped, it's a mindset, is there's so many things that are open. It's this The sky is endless to what you can do here nowadays, with technology. And you don't have to be there.
Right.
So that's no
Mindset.
longer an excuse.
Right. Right. So the best thing is to for them to acquire skills, know what they are passionate about, and just go from there. So Mailbox, which is your franchise business. So can you explain more to those who are paying attention right
Yeah. Yeah, Mailbox is a franchise from the US. One of the
Okay.
reasons why I like about Mailbox is got 5 profit center revenues, and my heart is always working with business people. So we work with a lot of business people who are shipping goods all over the world, manufacturers who are importing. Again, I'm sticking within my lane, you know. I meet so
Yeah.
many great entrepreneurs who are doing amazing things, and we're providing a service to them. We're providing
Right.
mailbox rentals to them. We're providing printing services to them, and I'm surrounded of a great network entrepreneurs, and we're all over the world. There's 3,200 mailbox centers globally, so it's a global business that works to serve local businesses and the business center in the community.
Right. And then, what system do you put in place? And how many locations do you have for the mailboxes right now?
For the mailboxes at the moment, I've got two,
Okay.
so but I'm looking to expand. I've
Right.
learned a lot within the network of franchise. Uh, I'll probably create my own, probably even have my own franchise in the future. I can add the lessons I've learned from other ventures and the ones that haven't worked out. I think before I met you as well, I invested in another company called Fast Sign Franchise.
Yeah.
We make sign in Milton Keynes, but that venture never worked out for me because of staffing issues and distance. So I learned not to try to manage things that are too remote from me. I learned that with people, so I failed that venture, which cost
Right.
me a lot of money. But I learned a lot of valuable lessons, which made me more successful on my next ventures. Key lesson was stick within my lane.
Correct. And then the real estate, the Rafiki homes. Can you share
Yeah.
throw more light on that?
Yeah, so that Rafiki home was born out of being a retailer, renting properties. I realized how much I was paying the landlords. I says I can do this myself, you know. I'm wasting so much money. So
Right.
now I only want to rent out my own properties with shops and flats. And that's how Rafiki Home came about, really. It's an area I'm looking to grow, which complements my skills of supply chain and to
Yeah.
develop more units, you know, more little business centers for people to work in the offices and run their
Yes.
trade counters. Again, I like to serve business people because I can add value with my knowledge and experience. I prefer that
Right.
business more than residential because I don't like to deal with tenants. I don't like to build deep relationship like that because that's not really my game. I can't add value to you, but business people, I don't care what business you do. There's somewhere I can add value in your business, whether it's the systems, whether it's marketing, whether it's on the web. There's always something that can help a business owner overcome or contact I can put
Right.
them in touch with.
Right. Fantastic. So this is I'm amazed by your um, entrepreneur deep understanding of businesses, business concepts. You can pick any business and then build it and multiply it, and that's the hallmark of an entrepreneur. So, for a young African in the UK or Nigeria had £5,000 to £10,000, which of these business can you tell them to start and why?
Ooh, you're asking a very tough question.
It is because you're
uh,
a tough
uh,
person. I've
uh,
seen you one
uh,
on one, and I remember when you took me to one of your laundry business, and also your mailboxes office, and I saw amazing staff, people who are grounded on what they do, professionals. You hire. So I know that you could be able to offer very expert opinions and advices to those who are watching us right
well, I'm like a business doctor, as you got to see at a business center. First, it depends who the individual is. First, I do a lot of questioning first. What do you like? What do you enjoy? What do you see yourself doing? I might recommend a digital business.
now. Okay.
I might recommend a massage beauty business. I might recommend transport business, brokerage. So yeah, it's tough. It depends who it is and where you are in your journey because I have solution for different people. Are you just looking to start? Are you someone who's mature with a lot of in the middle, or are you someone with a lot of money? So I've got different product for different person, individual. So that will be my first starting point, because I don't want to sell the wrong advice to someone. Say, I know you told me to do this, it didn't work. I told someone a digital business, they don't even like tech, you know? They don't want to take good pictures. They don't want to take listing. They don't want to engage on social media. And then they blame me, say, I know you gave me the wrong advice. So yeah,
Right.
but there's plenty. Even £1,000 you can start. You know, for me, entrepreneurship is making something out of nothing. If you're giving a lot of money to do something, you're not a businessman. Anyone we giving a lot of money has got a high chance of doing something. For me, it's doing less with very little and turning something small into something amazing. So that's what I call entrepreneurship: is growth phase and journeys. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They've got £1,000, but they want to make 100 grand. So it's small baby steps. Now you want a grand. Next, let's make 5K. And then from 5K, let's make 10. Then from 10, let's see if we can get you to 25. 25, 50K. From 50K, 75. It's stages, but a lot of people want to move from 1K to 10,000. And things take time. You know, things take time. You need a lot of patience and just gradually enjoy. You know, if you're religious, if you follow what I like, manufacturing or farming, or when a woman gives a baby, everything takes time. You know, you can't get pregnant today and deliver tomorrow. When you go farming, traditional, when you look at farming industry, traditional, like, how long does it take? When do you harvest? So there's a lot of lessons to learn in farming and agriculture. Manufacturing, the UK is a manufacturing nation. How long do the great manufacturers take to become world class? There's many here in the UK, Germany, and Italy. There's too many greatness that I'm surrounded within the Europe to learn from. And I'll look for them to become household name. It took time. So
Right.
if you're brokeraging, you're wholesaling and you want to get into manufacturing, no, it requires a lot of different type of thinking. And if you do it correctly, you will get there.
My goodness, I've learned so many things from what you just said. Listen, guys who are watching us right now, you can't give birth to a baby by one day. Instead, you get pregnant and then you wait for 9 months. He's talking from experience. This is not theory or motivational speakers that you found around. This is from the experience building five multiple businesses in the UK. So he's grounded. And then what he said, for those who are limited by money, you are looking at certain amount of money for you to start. You heard from the horse's mouth. He said you don't need a lot of money to start building your life or the dream of the life you want to live. See, you need just little money. Be able to build that money and multiply it, and then from 1,000 to 2,000, and then 5,000, then gradually. So most of you guys who are quick rich syndrome, I think he has already given you a very uh, brutal but the honest truth on how you can build wealth. Wealth is not magic. You build it exponentially, gradually, and then you get there. This is the man I have met one, and he shared so many things that if we stay into this podcast, we might not be able to finish in an hour. But he's busy. He's already at work, on the move every time, on the move. So, guys, let's stop following magicians and then motivationals that have not showed credibility and clarity and show you what they have been able to do. What we're talking about here is from someone who has multiple businesses and be able. How do you scale all of those businesses? Is there any way you're planning to scale them up? And those who are running businesses, what do you think you want to tell them? And then how you're scaling yours as well.
Yeah, as I said, take everything like baby steps. You know,
Right.
I don't sell any magic, or I always say to people, don't take on more than you can handle. It's a bit like someone
Right.
who goes to the gym. If you could only bang 60 kg, don't try and do 120 kg, because
Right.
your diet and the strength is different. And that's my biggest problem I have with people coming to business. Why in other sectors have processes and things that, why do you think you come to business, say, I've got 100K, how could I make the quickest return? A business
Mhm.
doesn't work like that. A business
Right.
is a patient, long-term game. It doesn't even matter. You can even have 100 grand. You can also lose it very
Correct.
quick.
Right.
So that's, I think, because of the hype of social media, people are buying into
Yeah.
hypes. You know, my model, people might say, is boring, is long. While other people, they want something quick results, quick. You got 10K, I can show you how 10K can be turned into 100K. And that's not my philosophy. And it's never worked
Right.
for me. So you're looking in the wrong direction. So a lot of people in business, I'm going to get, how do I get rich quick? How
Yeah.
do I get rich quick?
The rich
How
syndrome.
do I? Yes. It doesn't work. Do
Right.
something well. Even sometimes, so I even tell people you're better off putting your money in an African bank on India, 100K, you get 10% on your return. That's 10 grand a year.
Mm-hmm.
Over 10 years period, that's how business work. You would have made
Mm-hmm.
your 100 grand just in 10 years.
Correct.
Yeah. That's also another lucrative venture. Safe, secure, slowly, steady wins the race. So I have
Mm-hmm.
someone say, I want to come into business with you. I got 50K. In year two, he's already asking for the money. Year one is learning. Year two, we know what we're doing. Year three, we're building momentum. Year four, we're on turbocharge. Year five, we've mastered it. 5 years. But
Right.
year two already, you're asking, when can I get my money back? When can this? So all that this is why it's people's expectations. When you
Yeah.
go to a bank or you want return, sometimes you say it's a 5, 10 years. When you give your bank money, you don't go year one or after 6 months. Oh, my boiler's broken down. I need that 10K or my car. That's not how business works.
No.
Now I need it now, yo. I wanna cash out. You know, you mean you wanna cash out? What? This is not what we sign up for. So even
That's
when you
right.
sign leases, with solicitors, our
Yeah.
longevity be looking for 10 years. By 10 years,
Correct.
5 to 10 years, then
Yeah.
that's when we get our money back.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's right. I'm looking at like, where did you learn all these things? Is it from your mom or your dad? And you're from what country is your origin in Africa?
Mm. Oh
Yes.
well,
What's your country?
well, I'm from East Africa. So my mom is from Rwanda, my dad is from Burundi.
Fantastic. You're complete Africans. So
Yeah.
where do you borrow the entrepreneurial spirit from? Your mom or dad?
Well, my dad was very entrepreneurial, so he's always
Okay.
been very entrepreneurial. So I got a bit of both. My mom was very hospitable, so I do both. Hospitality, looking after people well, and when you treat people well, you always make money. So that's one of my greatest weapon I learned from my mom. Mm,
Fantastic. How do you juggle
yeah.
business with your family? How do you juggle them with your children, their twins? How do you juggle them? How do you have time for them? For those who are children, kids, and they're running their own business. How do
Well,
you
if
manage to
as
do
I say, once you set up the right business and infrastructure, the business just runs itself. If you set it up correctly, again, the foundation. If the business is stressing you where you don't have time for your family, drop that business. It's not worth it because it's causing you more
Mhm.
grief. If you got headache business, which I don't like, which are not set up correctly, then you're not gonna have time for your family. Then for me, family first and then business second. Because
Fantastic.
my family comes first. Uh, so if I'm
Yeah.
not good with my family, and also mental well-being as well. You want to make sure you live in a nice, good environment. Exercising is key, meditation, and eating well. So all them three components. Forget any business, any money. If you're not doing them things right, you're not gonna do well in the business. You know?
Mm, mm. So, your book is in a box coming soon. What is the biggest mistake new entrepreneur make that this book will help them avoid? Is there anything you can, from the book that's already come?
Say that again.
Yeah, you have a new book. It's coming very soon.
Mm-hmm.
In that book coming very soon. So, what's the biggest mistakes that entrepreneurs make that you want them to
I, f-
avoid?
I think the biggest mistake entrepreneurs, including myself, make you try and take on too much. Yeah,
Mm,
you take on too much. You think you're actually bigger and stronger than you're capable of. So my philosophy of life now, less is more. You you burn yourself down chasing and this and this. It's too much noise. Just try and do
Mm,
one thing well, get known for something well, and then just leverage as you go along. Because you're known for being excellent. Trying to be excellent in one field, and once you're excellent, you cross over lane and trying to apply being excellent in different lane. Or sometimes you're better off just sticking to one lane and being excellent in it. There's nothing wrong as well, you know. You can bring
that's right.
longevity just doing one thing well. But the problem, because of the noise, people are trying to do too many things at a time. So that's mistake number one. Mistake number two, sometimes people don't wait long enough. They quit before they were just about to break through to blow up. Mistake number three, wrong team. They recruit the wrong people on the venture or partner with the wrong people. So all these are mistakes that can become suicidal before you actually make it. And cash flow as well is another big one. Hey, if you don't look after that cash flow, the bills come fast. You know, keep an eye on that cash flow. Make sure the venture money is coming in quick enough. You know, otherwise it's cancer. You're gonna die before your time. You know.
That's right. And
So
then for
money.
the system, for the system in the UK and the third world, like Africa, we are running business in the UK and Africa. So, what would you advise? Some of us who have businesses in the Africa, then you are a very organized system. So, what advice you want to give to all of us?
I think the number one advice is investing in systems because nowadays system don't have to cost that much. You got India online, they're developing a lot of good systems. Chinese, Philippine, cost effective within your budget. Even in
Right.
Europe, some subscription software. So there's a lot of software and solution and invest in system. CCTV cameras if you're in retail, EPOS system for data, and card payment facilities. So you want things that give you data. So you can run anything on the move anywhere. You know what's happening. You know, you need visibility all time. Without visibility, you're driving blind. You're about to crash, is what I call it. And a lot of
Right.
African businesses a headache. I have to be there. I can't trust no. Does that mean the business is not set up correctly? You know, if it doesn't give you a life, it's not a business. It's a job. You know. Hello, hello,
Taking
hello.
time. Yeah,
What do
yeah,
you
I'm
say?
here. I said, what's a great way to end the podcast when you said that a lot of headache in African running business in Africa, you have to be there. It's a lot of headache, a lot of dysfunctional system. So continue from that line of thought. So as we close, come to the conclusion of this podcast.
Yeah, I think Africa, even me looking at it from a European, it's in a great place. Africa has a lot of potential. The political systems have improved in a lot of nations and the system. And a lot of people are well informed in Africa now because of tech. You know, now you're in Nigeria and we're speaking now. So all these things are available everywhere now. So the world has become a very small place. So the first is believing in yourself. And now I believe you can make it anywhere, you know, because of this tech now. You know, there's tech that allows you to connect with people remotely or in person. So it shouldn't cost a fortune
And
to have
yeah,
digital infrastructure to do things now, you know. So the world is a small place and you can make it anywhere.
right.
Uh, if you do it right, people will also embrace you and people will back you. There's good people out there and you'll be surprised where you find your blessings in life, you know. And you can find
Exactly.
talent from anywhere and you can find investors from anywhere. So
That's
now
true.
investors and talent is everywhere now. So the world is global. So that's my vision. Just think global. If things are not happening in your town, maybe cross border, go to another country that's next to you, you know. So that's my advice.
Thank you very much, Mr. Neil. In fact, we're going to be having the second episode of this podcast, and I hope you will find time without much wasting of your time. I want to thank you on behalf of TD Studio Hub. And then, how can they connect you? Those who listening, watching this podcast, how do they connect
Well, I have an email. I have
you? Okay,
Instagram, but I'm not big on Instagram and WhatsApp really, I trying to keep it easy and simple,
right. We're going to drop those things on the LinkedIn.
No, I'm not on LinkedIn yet.
Okay, so we're going to drop your contact. So you people who need your services might reach out to you for um, service provision. So thank you, Miss Anil,
Okay.
Shani. We really appreciate the time. We do have a lovely day. We hope to catch up with you again in soon, not quite too long time, for you to come and share your expertise on these things that will help people around the world to build the
Okay.
business of their lives and live in a good life. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Right, good, have a good day. Take care of yourself.